Now, another thing I noticed in the text is that Peter loves precious things. If you read Peter, he loves precious things. And I got that here where it says, but with the precious, so you're not redeemed with corruptible things like silver and gold, right? So he starts off with the negative not redeemed with corruptible things. We are redeemed, but not with corruptible things. But with what? With the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, right? So it's not with corruptible things, but it's with the precious blood of Christ. And as you read Peter, you see the word precious shows up a lot in the book of Peter. Here are some examples. Um, Peter loves precious things. First Peter 1:7, that the genuineness of your faith being more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ. The genuineness of your faith, those who have sincere faith, those who have authentic faith, that faith is more precious than gold. And it's funny because, a lot of preachers talk about emphasize on money and they just elevate money so much. But Peter's saying that the genuineness of your faith is even more precious than that, right? It's even more precious than that. First Peter 1:19, but the precious blood of Christ as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. So we looked at that just now, that the blood of Christ is precious. Now, why is it precious? Because it is a blood that is not tainted with sin, right? So Jesus has no sinful nature and he never committed sin, even though he was tempted. So when he died and that blood was spilled, that blood was able to satisfy the wrath of God. It was able to satisfy God's holy wrath, right? So that's why his blood is precious. And it's by that blood um, that we are redeemed. It is by that blood we are cleansed. It is by that blood we are justified. So that blood is precious. It is precious. First Peter 4 through 7, 1 Peter 2 4 through 7, coming to him as a living stone. So that him is Jesus, rejected indeed by men, but chosen by God and precious. You also, as a living stone, are being built up, a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. Therefore, it is also contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he who believes on him will by no means be put to shame. Therefore, to you who believe, he is precious. Here we go again, three times here. But to those who are disobedient, the stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. So, according to this passage, Christ is a chosen and precious stone. He is the chosen and precious stone, right? He is the chief cornerstone. All of our life, all of our faith, all of our doctrine, all of our theology is built upon the person and the work of Christ. He is the chief cornerstone, right? All of it is built on the person and the work of Christ. If you reject that, then that person and his work will bring condemnation to you. He is that precious. He is that precious. And lastly, on this part, we talk about Peter loves precious things. First Peter 3, 3 through 5. Do not let your adornment be merely outward, arranging the hair, wearing gold, or putting on fine apparel. Rather, let it be the hidden person of the heart, with the incorruptible beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is very precious in the sight of God. For in this manner, in former times, the holy women who trusted in God also adorned themselves, being submissive to their own husbands. Being submissive to their own husband. Now, what is precious in this text um, is the incorruptible beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is very precious in the sight of God. In other words, there is a characteristic that a woman can possess that is precious in the sight of God. And what Peter is communicating is not the outward appearance. Listen, it doesn't mean a woman should not take care of herself. It doesn't mean that a woman should not present herself well. Doesn't mean that she shouldn't take care of herself. That's not what Peter is saying. Peter is saying, in contrast, the better, the better quality is not the external, is the internal. That's the better quality. That's the better beauty, not the exterior beauty. Because a lot of women can look good on the outside, but man, they got a nasty mouth, they got a nasty disposition. They don't have faith, they're miserable, etc., etc., right? So they're not submissive. So Peter is saying that the hidden person, he said, let the hidden person, the person that's on the inside, the incorruptible beauty, gentle, quiet spirit, that is precious in the sight of God. So we want to have a character that is precious in God's sight, not just man's sight. Sometimes we care more about how does man view us. No, let us have a character that is precious in the sight of God. Peter loves precious things.